Well, hello everybody, Spectacular, the Silver Stacular. I want to give you one, two, three, count them, three different ways that you can make money on silver besides just waiting for the spot price to increase. I want to give you these three simple things right now. So, three things that you can do if you want to go ahead and be in on the silver game and not just wait for the price of silver to shoot up, right? Which, listen, over a long term, I think that we're all going to find that that's going to happen to silver, gold, precious metals in general. There's going to be some ups and downs, but I think in very, very long term, you're going to find that there's going to be a rise. And that's just kind of statistically and historically how that kind of stuff goes. But in the meantime, if you want to make some good money by flipping silver, by finding different potentials in silver, and then that way you can end up stacking harder, bigger, faster, stronger. You can do that right now instead of just waiting for the spot price to go up. So, number one on this list is watch for the trends. What am I talking about, right? Well, there's all kinds of stuff out there that ends up doing a little bit better than other things when it comes to silver. There's a lot of themes out there, and pretty much any interest out there in the world is available, right? So I have dragons right here, dragons, pirates, zombies, animals, places on Earth. I mean, just like locations. And that's just five real quick ones. There's all kinds of stuff out there, that is different themes and trends of silver. Find out what is very, very popular. So one really easy way, and this makes it so completely just like you don't got to even think, right? Is if you go to some kind of social media outlet. So if you have your Instagram, your Facebook, even YouTube, right? And you see these people that are selling precious metals, and you see an item like this. Let's say this dragon coin bar right here from, what is this, Australia, right? Yeah, Australia, 2023. These just came out. Somebody starts selling those, right? And you see the chat going crazy. Maybe it's an auction. They start bidding it up like crazy. Or, you're on Instagram and some seller says, hey, I got 30 of these to sell. Who wants them? And you see that they all sell out within a day. That is a popular item. That is a no-brainer. That makes the work on your part just completely easy. There's no guessing. You know that these things right here will sell. Now, these particular coin bars, they make these in other years too. They do very well. They sell very quickly. They're no problem. You see these in a coin shop somewhere, and they're on the close to spot rack. Try to grab these kind of things because these just do so incredibly well. And especially if you can get them close to spot, I mean, it's a no-brainer again. So things like dragons, for some reason, I don't know how to explain it. We love dragons. If you were in on these World of Dragons back in the day that Provident Metals put out, I mean, you can't really mess that up. And it's going to lead me into my next point on some of this stuff. But for now, let's kind of go into the trends a little bit more. So, dragons are great. I find that pirates are really, really big in the stacker and collector community. This is another one right here that I found, this Dead Men Tell No Tales. And this is from the Mason Mint, I believe. These came out, I saw these on social media, and I saw that somebody said, hey, we're going to be selling these. Go ahead and tell me down in the comments if you want one. And the comment section was spammed full of people saying, yep, I got to have 5 of these. I want one, I want a tube, et cetera, et cetera. Just constantly saying, I want these things. So what did I do? I bought some too, because I'm like, hey, if that many people want them, there's that many people more out there somewhere that would also like to have these as well. I made sure I bought some of those. Every time I offer those for sale anywhere, they get sold like that. That's pretty good, right? A little snap. But yeah, that kind of stuff, piratey themed stuff. I know that AppMex has that thing that they do with the Black Flag series. Those tend to do pretty well unless the theme on the actual coin itself is not really, really ship-based. If it just kind of focuses more on the pirate itself, it didn't seem to do very well. But they all still sell pretty decently, that being said. Here's another one real quick. Just so much going for it. The artwork is fantastic. It's a little of this, a little of that. It has some really cool like lines and features on it. It's just great to look at. It's a little something different that you can see in your eye each and every time. This kind of stuff appeals to a lot of collectors out there. They love them. So, and then of course things like this Libertads, old Libertads. People love those. So, you know, watching the trends, watching what's hot, watching what might be new and popular, that is always a big deal too. Right now in our world, we have things that are new going on all the time. And whether you love them, you hate them, let's not even focus on that right now at all. But if you see this stuff out there with Trump on it, statistically, historically, collectors of and stackers of precious metals are typically going to be, you know, on the right part of the spectrum politically. It just, hey, look around. That's the way it works. So if you find something out there with this kind of face on there, you're going to be able to sell that quickly. I made or had some of these made actually from MK bars, and I don't even want to show this right now because it's so stinking popular that I cannot even keep them, and I don't want to sell them. So please don't ask where you can buy those because you can't. They're sold out. I'm not selling the one that I'm keeping. Pretend like you didn't see that. But anything with that dude's face on there just tends to, man, it goes. So you may not love some of these things that you are buying, but if you are a flipper, you're looking for that potential, you're trying to get a little extra money on your silver purchases, you know, look for things that might not always interest you, but you know that that trend is popular. So that's number one, long-winded, I know. Number two, sometimes you might have to hold a little bit. So this right here goes back to the World of Dragons rounds. So those were really cool. You know, they came out, guns a-blazing, pretty popular as they came out. But then as they kind of, you know, left the field and they're not really making them anymore, and then Provident Metal eventually got sold to A-Mark Precious Metals, or J.M. Bullion owns them, you know, kind of as well. That's all kind of part of the same company now. You know, people are like, man, those Dragon rounds, and I never could get a hold of that World of Dragons series. I would love to have that. So it's like one of those things where people end up paying a little bit more because of, you know, that thing that they missed out on. And the rarity starts to kind of come up a little bit on those, and people start getting more in demand. And man, back then I could have bought that. I didn't do it. I got to go find it. You know, they start looking on eBay or whatever. So sometimes it might be a good idea if you can get in on certain things, and you have to, you know, play the game the right way and know what you're doing. But if you hold things for a little while, just, you know, sock it away safely, store it, protect it. Maybe in a couple of years, the price will go up. And I've seen that many times on some of the things I held, and both hold and held. There's things like this right here. These pieces, you know, the Rising Sun, they come out, and, you know, they're like $30 or something like that when they come out. But people will pay $50 for those after a couple of years because they're like, hey, you know, I can't get them anymore. And that's mostly true if the things end up selling out on different websites. So, you know, you have to really kind of be hopeful for things to sell out or do well at its start, and then over some years when people go like, oh, I can't hardly find those anymore, let's try to get a good deal on them, they're going to be searching elsewhere for those items, and the price can come up. So sometimes it's actually a strategy to hold on to your silver beyond looking just for the hold for the spot price increase, but just the rarity level and the collectability level of certain pieces can definitely go up over time. So, and my last and favorite little tip right here, right? Let's move all this stuff out of the way so we can really, really focus on what I want to show you all. Sometimes, if you have an item, let's say you have, I don't know, just a bar, right? You have a couple Dragon bars right here, and maybe they aren't selling, right? They just, man, nobody wants these Dragon bars anymore. They've just been played out to death. It's just no good, right? These ones right here are all spotted up. Maybe people are like, I don't want them. They got milk spots all over them. It's disgusting. So what can you do? Well, another really good way, if you have a little bit of creativity and a little bit of space for some of the things you'll need, is you can actually make those pieces into something new. And believe it or not, that stuff has a lot of collectability and a lot of artistic value. So here's some pieces right here that I'm going to show you that I've made because I had, you know, silver that was close to spot, and I decided to take these pieces and make them into something that I would call art. And some people also agree that it becomes almost like an art piece. And depending on how well you start becoming at this little art thing, or how well you are known at this little artist game, it starts to become more and more popular and more valuable. And you can end up taking your, you know, close to spot silver and making it into little treasures, little pirate treasures. So you don't have to be a massive, crazy, artist. You can just be like a little art inclined and have a couple little ideas in your head and make some little pirate treasure pieces. Anyways, that's what I've done many times. And people that say that you're crazy if you buy that kind of stuff, well, people do it all the time, and there's a huge market for these kinds of things and the other kinds of things that I've shown. It's not just your grandpa's silver is silver ideology anymore. Now it's more for all different generations that are involved in stacking and collecting precious metals and coins. So take those three little pieces of advice, and I think you can turn something into from basically a plain, just regular investment, hold it and don't even look at it kind of hobby, to something that's a lot more enjoyable, that can end up making you some decent money if you do it the right way and pay attention to some things. And like for me, like I said, it's more enjoyable, more fun when you actually get to be more, you can participate more in what you're doing. So again, as a recap, watch the trends. They're out there. They're easy to find, especially if you have any kind of social media outlet. Hold to collect the value of certain pieces, and be ready to make them into something new if it doesn't work out, which you can still sell for plenty of money. Anyways, I got to go for now. Hopefully you appreciate a little bit of advice. I have used these particular ideas and thoughts and done very well for myself. So I thought I would open this up and allow you to know what I do. But I think if you watch this channel at all, then you probably know these things and that they do work. So if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and like the video and comment down below. Tell me how crazy I am and that silver is silver and how wrong I am. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. I've proved it many times. I guess I'll just keep proving it to everybody. What can I do? Spegtacular appreciates you for watching regardless, and I'm out. Well, hello everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. When I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.